On this episode of Travels with Bill, we're at Barefoot Farms in the rural municipality of Minitonas Bozeman. Barefoot Farms is an open-to-the-public hydroponic greenhouse. You start by coming on down the lane. We're here in summer when it looks absolutely beautiful, but it's open all year long, so you can come in the winter too and enjoy some time in the greenhouse. When you make it down the driveway, park in the parking lot, and then get out and come on inside. Dale's waiting for us to show us all around the greenhouse. I wouldn't blame you for spending some time outside though. There's a neat little park set up. You'll see a picnic bench in a moment, and there's some artwork out here too with some flowers. Really, taking your time to get inside the greenhouse is just part of the experience. There's the bench and his trusty dog. Then in the front door we go. I guess actually it's the side door. Anyway, in the blue door, and we'll find the greenhouse. If you need directions, Google knows where this place is and it'll bring you right to the parking lot. You can hear water in the background. That's a fountain. We'll get back to that in a moment. Well, here we are inside. Look at all the plants. Now what you're seeing here is things all the way from starting to finished and ready to eat. Lots of lettuce there in the back, but lots of other things too. Now I could spend a lot of time trying to explain this all to you, but I think probably the best person is Dale himself, because he knows how this works and he's here every day making sure the greenhouse is ready for you. Well, here he is.
Okay. Everything starts over here. Every Tuesday I plant 800 and some of these little foam cubes. They're called oasis cubes. So their whole job in life is to hold the seed at the right possible spot for the moisture to reach up and the tops stay dry so they get no mold or mildew. These right here were planted the previous Tuesday, so they're about 10 days old today. After 2 weeks here under the lights, they move out to the greenhouse. And the rest of these are microgreens, radish, broccoli, peas, and basil. All coming. Out here in the greenhouse, if we take that half of the greenhouse and divide it into 4 quarters like a section of land, on Wednesday I started harvesting that quarter, following Wednesday will be that quarter, and then Wednesday after that, so on and so forth. So there's a new crop every week of lettuce, and then at this end of the greenhouse we have our fun stuff. We've got arugula and dill on this side to the left. Bok choy over here, kale, some different kinds of kale, dinosaur kale, some red variety, some experiments that are somewhat succeeding and somewhat not. And down here in the lettuce department, the star of the show is this Tropicana lettuce. And this is 42 days old on the day it starts getting sold from seed to sale. And then on the other side here, the romaine takes an extra week. 49 days a year. 52 weeks a year. The water goes around and around at a liter a minute. So it's constantly circulating, providing the plant with everything it needs when it needs it. This greenhouse as it sits right now will drink at least 200 liters of nutrient solution a day up through the plants. On a hot day like today, it'll take 400 liters easily, all up through the plants. There's no waste. The water constantly circulates. And to that 200 liters, I add the nutrients by the tablespoonful. So there's enough nutrients in the 3 white containers over there to run this greenhouse for 6 months. Kind of makes a person wonder why we haul lettuce into this country.
Besides the water, there's some lights in here as well for the winter time to make sure the days seem long enough for the plants, and big fans to get the hot air out and some cooler air in during the summer. Dale's greenhouse is very diversified. It's not just lettuce.
4 types of microgreens here at the farm currently. We have borage, peas, radish, and sunflower. With the radish being the most popular. I describe the radish as tasting like a radish looks like it should taste, but never does. Right? They're never as good as they look. These are way better than they look. The peas taste exactly like peas. Don't know if I'd ever bother growing garden peas again. And the borage tastes like cucumbers. So basically all your additives that you want to mix into your salad at your fingertips, already prepared. And then every day I bake 6 loaves of sourdough bread. I do my take on a raisin bread with cranberries and Chinese 5-spice. I do a spicy, a fresh rosemary, and then a plain. And that's 6 loaves every day. However those shake out depending on what sells the day before. And yeah, first come, first serve. And over in the other corner, it's whatever local produce I can find or whatever's available in the valley. I try and have here 5 days a week. So right now I currently have some BC apples, some Penner Farm jam, and some honey and soap from Hanny's Hobbies in Minitonas.
Dale maybe forgot to mention the cookies. They are delicious. You can usually talk them into one when you visit the greenhouse, and you can buy more to take home with you as well. So what possesses a guy to move to the Swan River Valley and set up a hydroponic greenhouse and prove you can make a living doing this?
Why did I do this? Oh, well, I grew up here. Always wanted to come back and to be able to give something back to the community where I grew up. And I was in the oil patch in Alberta, and I had spent years building a U-pick in my free time. I always enjoyed gardening and being outside and doing that and plants. But it's a lot of work and not a whole lot of money to do it. So doing some research, stumbled across the hydroponics. There was a couple in Northern Ontario that were doing it that had a conventional greenhouse setup, and the husband got into this, and within 2 years of figuring this out, they had stopped doing the whole entire other part of their greenhouse just to focus on this. So it seemed like a good thing. Home, the valley needs the fresh produce. People here would appreciate it, and the other thing is people here support locals.
How's the reaction been from people?
They're awesome. Everybody's been super supportive, and for the most part, once people come once, they keep coming again, and everything's been very positive.
There's a lot of natural going on at the greenhouse as well, outside the fountain. Oh, I love the noise of running water. You all know that from watching the channel. But check out the chickens too. Dale's got a whole flock of them, and they're actually, busy making baby chickens too. You'll see the chicks in the shade there hiding from us a little bit. The chickens are kind of an important part of the greenhouse because the leftover plants end up out here as chicken food. So nothing goes to waste at all. And Dale also ends up with eggs from the chickens, which he sells in the greenhouse. I admit I spent some time trying to catch a chick, but they're a lot faster than I am. The chickens aren't the only things, though, making the greenhouse more natural. If we dive in under here, you'll meet Melvin. Now, Melvin is a praying mantis. He's one of thousands of them in the greenhouse that are here to eat pests naturally, so Dale doesn't have to use a lot of pesticide. He can simply let the praying mantis do their job and take care of the bugs.
I guess I would like to say thank you to all the customers that have come, and look forward to seeing all the future customers. But ideally, yeah, the people who just showed up and asked, hey, what are you selling? What are you doing? Show me. Tell me about it. And then bought stuff. It's awesome.
We've maybe saved the best for last. Just behind the greenhouse is the railway track, and during our visit, a train went by. So if you're lucky, maybe you'll get to see a train too, and it's not only all the hydroponic greenhouse and all the natural stuff and the chickens in the yard, it's also a train. Oh, amazing. Well, that does it for this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and we'll show you lots of neat places where we travel to. For now, farewell from Barefoot Farms, just outside of Minitonas, Manitoba. We'll see you on the next episode of Travels with Bill.